Hello, everybody. This is Taylor, and I'm here to tell you that we lost the footage for the first episode that we recorded of this series. So I'm here to edit in the opening cutscene as well as some gameplay footage of basically what we did in the first episode while I do a little bit of a voiceover for you. So, hope you enjoy. Basically, this is just starting off right where the game opens, as if we were doing the first episode. That font is low quality for whatever advertisement this is. This ad is so cheesy and highly suspicious to me. Like, one of the first things I commented on in the original shooting of the episode was how much this really made me feel like Terra Save was secretly bad guys, which we filmed 3 episodes as of this voiceover, all in one sitting, and somehow we just ended up not recording the footage for the first episode. For anybody who doesn't know, as of right now, we don't have a game capture card. We just do the PS4 built-in video capture. Which, to do that, you basically just have to, if you double tap the share button on the PS4 controller, you'll start recording. If you double tap it again, you will stop recording. So anytime that we lose the footage specifically, I say lose, but we never had it in the first place. It was most likely because we forgot to start recording at some point, which is the only thing I can think of, unless the PS4 has some problem that I'm not aware of where it just loses your footage. That's most likely what happened. Luckily, though, for you guys, the first episode wasn't super exciting in terms of the gameplay. I just wanted to make sure to include the opening cutscene and just give a basic rundown of what the gameplay was up until the second episode, just so you guys aren't completely lost. We didn't really want to sit down and completely record the episode over again, just because a lot of the parts that made the first episode as long as it was, like a full episode length, was us being lost. So if we actually just run through the area pretty quickly, including the cutscene, it's like 12 minutes is how long it took me, because what you'll see at the end of this cutscene is me just going through and playing the beginning part again, just so you guys can see what happens and what leads up to where the second episode starts. But yeah, it takes all of like 12 minutes, including the cutscenes, to get to where the second episode starts when you know what you're doing. So didn't really see a point of having Aaron come over again to sit down and record that. So I'll just be doing a voiceover. You'll get a little taste of what it would be like if I was a solo YouTuber, I guess. Here we see everything going downhill for our main characters. I have no idea who Moira is. I know who Claire Redfield is. I guess one thing I commented on in my original recording was that I know a very little amount of like the universe of Resident Evil and the lore. I watched a Let's Play of Resident Evil 7, which, I mean, in terms of any of these games, doesn't really matter. And I watched a Let's Play of Resident Evil 2. And, like, Resident Evil 0, I think, I got, like, halfway through that game. In terms of a Let's Play, I've never played any of the games. Oh, I did play Resident Evil Raccoon City. I'm just now remembering this. So that, I wouldn't say that game, matters at all either, in terms of knowing the, lore, I guess, or the characters, anything about these games. Raccoon City was a weird game. You had the option to kill Leon, which doesn't make any sense. Not canon. But yeah, that was a great game. This is also my second time recording the voiceover for this, because I just didn't hit record for the voiceover the first time. I was too focused on just trying to get this over with. And this is my first time ever using audio recording of my own, because Aaron usually handles that, so I just wasn't paying attention. So yeah, I did sit down, watch this entire video, and voice overed it once, and now I'm doing it again. I did notice her bracelet has 02 on it, which is something I didn't realize when we first played it, and I didn't know if it meant anything. Like, if Moira is Moira 01, or is there a third person that is 01? Just interesting to note. I don't know if it matters at all. But basically, you find out that Moira also, well, we're not quite there, but Moira also got taken. Spoiler alert for 2 seconds forward in the video. And there's cameras everywhere. Creepy, huh? She's just in here.
I'm gonna get you out of there right now.
Once again, yeah, I don't know who Moira is. I heard that from the cutscene that her dad's Barry, which I think I recognize the name, but like I said, she also, why does she use the word moist? It's weird. I don't like it. But yeah, like I said, I know like super key main character members, like Claire, Chris, Leon. That's like it. Oh, I did play Resident Evil 5 a little bit too. You know, when we first recorded this, like the actual recording with me and Aaron, I did comment that I'd never played a Resident Evil game before. And I'm now remembering that I totally have. I've also played a little bit of Resident Evil 6, so I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was thinking that I haven't really played like any of the traditional Resident Evil games, like the originals. Mostly a lot of the newer stuff, which is quite a bit different than the originals, like Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2. They become a lot more just straight up shooters, it feels like. Resident Evil 6 just didn't even feel like a Resident Evil game. At least the little I played of it. Same with Resident Evil Raccoon City. But here you see I'm just kind of trying to get through the game as fast as I can. And blood everywhere. That's always fun. Gotta get through this window, so I gotta run into the other room and grab the knife and the flashlight. The interesting mechanic, so here what you're seeing, Moira is the NPC because I'm just playing by myself, but Aaron was Moira, which you will find in, I guess, a couple minutes when the episode actually starts. And his character's whole thing is that, like, basically he shines a light on items and points of interest, and then it seems like Claire is a little bit more of the battle-focused one. Jake, what are you doing? Get out from underneath there. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna keep in, but we'll see. I'm just kind of winging it at this point.
I think we can squeeze under this. Give me a hand, Moira.
Oh, I'm yawning now.
Go!
I yawn a lot. I'm perpetually tired.
Okay.
And then we get to this point. I'm kind of sad that I lost my first voiceover because I already feel like that one was better. But in the first one, I actually get jump scared by this as I'm voiceovering this, which I thought was kind of funny, but I guess I've seen it too many times now. 3 wasn't enough. The 4th one is where I don't get scared. And then we hear this chick screaming, which I think we heard earlier, but I have the volume really low because I don't want the TV to pick up on the mic at all. So we just gotta push this very slowly to come find this chick is getting chased by what just attacked us, I assume. I tried really hard to, really hard in quotation marks, to try to catch up to them a little bit, to see if I just kind of booked it, if I could reach them. I did stop to pick this up because that's important, but I don't know why, I guess, because I wasn't going to continue playing this. I didn't really need to pick up the herb, but I tried to run after them as fast as I can. I kind of wish, the lady might have survived if she had run towards the people that were in a position to potentially help her. I have a knife, but she ran away. Also, how'd this door close? I'm just thinking about that now. How did she get through here? Unless the monster just closed the door behind him as he, chased out. This doesn't make any sense. And then you find that she's, super dead. This reminds me of, Fear-esque. One thing I found interesting about this whole scene is that, it's a pretty horrific thing to see this person who's just covered in their own blood, probably like partially mutilated, and I think it's a whole nother thing for it to be somebody that you know.
This must be the way out.
So the fact that Claire doesn't really react to, she's got a little bit of, she's a little upset, but that's like somebody she knows that she just watched die, and she didn't really seem to care that much. So this is coming up on the part that was specifically what made the first episode so long, or not so long, but made the first episode not that great, was that basically that key that is on that body falls off of the body, gets stuck on something as it falls down. So when you get down to the body, you can't find, the key's not on it, and so you have to find it. Because me and Aaron were talking to each other, we didn't pick up on the fact that Claire said that the key fell, so it was probably somewhere around there. I didn't really hear that, so when we got down there and the key wasn't on the body, I assumed that somebody took it, was my mindset. And so we came to the conclusion that we need to look through the whole place and backtrack and try to find where it was. Looking back on it now, that doesn't make almost any sense, but
Key's over there.
so we spent like a good 10 minutes, maybe even more, just trying to find the key. Throughout this entire facility, just backtracking through a lot of the rooms, trying to find it. And it's in the room. It's up above where this guy falls down, because it gets caught on something as he falls. But we just did not think of that as an option. And so that's part of the reason why I'm kind of okay with us losing the footage for this episode, because a lot of it was just us being lost.
Shine the light around.
But here you'll see that I'll just pretty much get it. It's interesting, when you're playing by yourself, you have to switch between the characters to get the character to do what you need them to do, which is interesting. Normally it would just be Aaron, but you shoot down the key and then you have the key. And so right after this is where the second episode picks up. This is me from the future doing a voiceover. What will go on from here on out is back when me and Aaron were actually filming these episodes. So got you caught up on what happened in the first episode, so hopefully you guys aren't too lost. Thanks for listening to me do a terrible voiceover.